I'd like to do this short video on a character by the name of John Overkill. Now I'm using some images here that represent what he looks like. Some of them are him and others are looky-likeys, which is what he likes to do. He likes to get snapshots of people in and around London who are attending various marches, and because they're stood next to someone, he uses that as his so-called proof that he's found something. So I'm giving him the same sort of treatment here. Some of the pictures are him, some of them are people who look a bit like him. Either way, I'm trying to make a point, which is this character, John Overkill, not only does he show his lack of research, lack of intelligence, it's plain for all to see that he's very, very envious of people. And he's got a thing about being envious of other YouTubers who are attending various things and filming. Now, this character, because John Overkill is not his name, so he's cowardly for starters. He doesn't identify himself in any way, and the envy that comes out when he speaks, it's so obvious. He's a very, I would say that emotionally, he's got arrested development. He's extremely childish, and it comes through. He's a little boy, possibly a little boy who was frightened very much, to the point he now carries that emotional baggage in his adult life. I've never come across someone who's so childish. Like I say, he makes YouTube videos, he points the finger at everybody and everyone. However, the way he approaches things, it exposes his stupidity, and it exposes how immature and actually remedial, aka backward, he is. Because he has someone who supports him, and I think that person supports him with giving him a larger vocabulary. However, between his own paranoia and his constant smoking of whatever, he makes the most absurd conclusions. I mean, it's so childish. For example, a researcher who's got a great reputation, a man called Mark Windows, he has been researching various topics for years. He goes around the country, he gives presentation and talks. Now, this John Overkill character has actually challenged this very well-educated man, saying, "Why don't you come on my channel and tell me why you're stood next to such and such and such and such?" And I thought, oh my goodness me. Mark Windows wouldn't give him a second of his time, but it's so ridiculous. It's like only an absolute moron would decide to have Mark Windows to challenge him, when clearly John Overkill is out of this man's league. In fact, everyone whom he's attacking, he's out of their league. And what this guy does, he hides away in Clitheroe in Lancashire. He hides away, and yet he does these sick little narratives from other people's videos, because he's an energy vampire, so he steals their footage and their videos, and he puts his own words over them. And his words, you can hear the anger, you can hear the lost little boy, you can hear the moron. And then he has to boost his own ego by saying he's got intuition and he's got sixth sense and he can ascertain that these people that he's pointing the finger at are actors and terrorists and the like. But he's completely deluded. So I just wanted to put this out to highlight that the way you go about things just shows that you're a real idiot. And my suggestion to you, because you can show me all the figures of your channel that you want, but it doesn't make any difference because so many people move away from you. You're really toxic, John. You're so toxic that a swathe of people who used to be on your channel, they dropped you like a brick. That is how toxic you are. And all I can say, I really feel sorry for Emma. She has to tolerate you. You must be the most difficult, brattish person to be around. You really are a childish brat. If people don't agree with you, you cut them off. You don't negotiate anything. You can't converse with people. You're rude to everyone who comes on your show. People have gone on your show, like IC3 and others, Bannerman, and they've tried to defend themselves against your ludicrous and terrible, terrible accusations based on no evidence whatsoever other than a picture. You're the devil. You really are. So therefore, you're going around making these absolute terrible accusations against everybody and anyone, particularly Londoners, those who live in the north, and you go about doing this from your own mind. You really do think you have something, and all you have is completely circumstantial, no evidence whatsoever. And the people you say are actors, people know they're actors anyway, because Pavlov, for example, he's told people at Speaker's Corner he's an actor. He does catalogue work and this and that and this and that. People knew that. So you didn't reveal anything. In fact, you don't reveal anything. You don't even research. You're a real lazy bum. You really are. So myself and other people I know, because you're such a betrayer, you're such, so duplicitous. You betrayed G-Truth, and he was one of your first supporters because he thought you was onto something. And then the next minute, you're putting his face on other people's body, and then you're slighting him. So, but what it is that you're jealous of other people. You're jealous of other people who are doing really well with their YouTubes. They've got good footage. And you've got nothing. Because everything you take, you've stolen. You've just taken other people's footage. And at the end of the day, you've got nothing to say. So my suggestion to you, that's if you can understand or comprehend, my suggestion to you is that do some research on anything and everything you say. Don't just offer up pictures, because people know where you are. People know where you live, and you're just a fool. So if you really want to get into being a so-called truther, why don't you do something and really do some research, not footage of someone stood near to someone else. Because the thing about being at Hyde Park or Speaker's Corner is that during this lockdown, people that are awake to various things, they've been able to access the parks in London because they're open, and it's a meeting place. People have been sharing material, study, newspaper articles. That's what's been happening. So it's been a meeting place, Hyde Park, and it has been for some time. So all I can say, John, why don't you stop hiding in your place up there in Lancashire? Stop hiding and running people down. Why don't you come to London? Why don't you actually come to Speaker's Corner on a Sunday? That's what I'll be. And that's where other people that you've been pointing the finger at will be. And why don't you do an interview with us? Why don't you film us? Why don't you speak to us face to face?